You're listening to the Marketing Funnel Show, episode number 34. For every 100 people who visit your website or your opt-in page, how many actually give you their email address? 1 person? 5? 10? 50? 90? Whatever the number is makes a huge difference in how fast and easy or slow and expensive it's going to be to build your business. So let's talk about how to create a lead magnet your customers can't ignore and why it matters so much for your business. Welcome to the Marketing Funnel Show. I'm your host, Michelle Evans, and this is the podcast for coaches, experts, and online business owners to learn how to go from simply surviving to sold out using the power of marketing funnels. All right, let's jump into today's show. Well, hey there, welcome back to the Marketing Funnel Show. I just want to say, again, thank you to all of you who have taken just a few minutes to dive into iTunes and leave a rating and review. So this past week, Marina VF said, "I love how specific and practical Michelle's show is. Each episode puts a laser focus on a topic, explains it, and leaves you with clear steps to take. Definitely adding it to my favorites list." Thank you so much, Marina. I'd love to also give you a call out. Simply hop onto iTunes and leave a rating and review. That's how they know that people are listening and getting value from this podcast. Okay, let's move into today's topics, which is, the thing everybody loves to talk about a lot online, which is lead magnets. So I've gotten some questions from people, specifically about, hey, my lead magnet's not working, or, people are opting in for my lead magnet. And I thought that, and then I got a couple questions from people saying, can you just talk a little bit more about lead magnets? So I'm backing it up a little bit today, and we're starting at the beginning. So, what is a lead magnet? So you might already know this, or you might not, and that's okay. A lead magnet is simply something that you put out there to get people to take action on, to opt in or to do something with your business so that you know who's paying attention, you're building an audience, all that kind of stuff. And lead magnets, why we in digital marketing, online marketing as online entrepreneurs think that, we've kind of created everything new or everything great. Lead magnets actually first started coming out long ago, like in the 1920s. People were, almost 100 years ago, people were, sending away for a magazine or a book or, some sort of recipes or something. Like lead magnets have been used for a long time. And I know, like, when I was growing up, the music lead magnet was huge. So, like, Columbia House and BMG Music, you could get whatever 10 CDs or 8 CDs for $1. That's basically their lead magnet, right? They're saying, hey, we'll give you all of this music basically for free. And then you just commit to buy whatever it is, 10 more. So basically you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. But that's an older version of a lead magnet with an upsell in it. But let's just talk about what a lead magnet is and why it's so important to your business. So a lead magnet can be so many things. And I think that's part of the reason why people sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed by lead magnets, because it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I could do. What should I do? And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But first, let's talk about what a lead magnet is. So a lead magnet is something that you're going to give away pretty much for free to your audience in exchange for their information. So some people call it an opt-in bribe. Some people call it, lots of different things, but I usually call it a lead magnet. And, that could be a PDF. It could be, a trial of your software or, an app that you have. It could be a video. It could be an audio. It could be, like just tons of things. It could be a workbook. It could be a mini course. It could be tons and tons and tons of different things, just depending on who your audience is and how you want to best show up and serve them. Now, one thing that I have found is that you want to have a couple different levels of opt-ins. So you want to have one that's like the super fast and easy one, right? So it's like a PDF cheat sheet or a checklist or, pictures or something where they don't really have to do a lot, but they get value because like all the information's right there. They don't have to read a lot. They don't have to go do a lot of like exercises or workbooks or watch a lot of videos or anything. It's like something that they can consume in 5 or 10 minutes, get a little, aha moment, and then move on. So if you don't have one of those in your business, you might want to think about it, because some people want the fast and easy because even though it's free, or probably especially because it's free, a lot of times people don't want to spend a lot of time up front. So I hear a lot of people saying things like, you need to make your lead magnet so valuable people would pay for it. And I agree with that to a point, but there are there is a play to be made for having something that's fast and easy and just gives people a quick win. So what could that be? That could be like a swipe file. That could be like an example, like let's say that you're a copywriter, that you take a piece of copy and you do a breakdown of how you would rewrite it and why. And you just have, really quick instructions about, get rid of this warm-up copy, have a clear call to action, like nothing too crazy. You could have the before and the after and just like the 5 things you did to improve it, right? And then just say, hey, stay tuned to your email where I break this down and talk more about each of these 5 things. Like that's something that you could easily do. And for most of us, we could think of something where we could, give people a really quick win. And if you can't, that's okay. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you can dive in and figure this out for yourself too. But so basically, that's one example of a lead magnet. Then there's like the medium lead magnet, right? And the medium lead magnet is something that maybe takes a slightly longer bit, but they get more value out of it. So, this could be taking a quiz and then having like a mini course at the end of the quiz that they can take based on what their outcome is. Or this could be a workbook that you put together, or a series of exercises, or maybe like, 3 or 4 videos where you're training on something specific. It's something that takes a little bit longer to consume and maybe slightly longer to get the benefit from. But when people do, dive into it, do, watch your videos or do your workbook or, worksheets or whatever, they're going to get more impact for themselves. Like they're going to get more of a aha moment, or they're going to get something truly valuable, right? And then there's the longer lead magnets, like something that probably actually a mini course would probably fit into this, where, maybe people have been around for a little bit and you're just wanting to take them a little bit deeper into what you do or get them a bigger aha. And so you put together something that's that takes more of their time. And remember, even though these are free, you're still asking people to give you time and mental energy and space in their life. And so you want to make sure that, they're ready for it, that this sounds really interesting. Like there's, a lot of stuff that you have to think about when you're putting together your lead magnet. And, I have, when I first started my business back in 2012, my first lead magnet was an eBook. And it was all about, I was all about, LinkedIn and career stuff and stuff. And I spent so long on developing that lead magnet and hiring graphic designer and hiring an editor. This thing was so long and so meaty that I was like, oh, of course people would want to pay for it. And they're going to be so thrilled that I'm giving this away for free. Right? And I hope that you have not made this mistake, because I think that I spent a little over 6 months on creating this thing. And I just think back and I'm like, geez, I could have done so many, quick hit PDFs or just something fun and simple in that 6 months and not waited all this time to try to get the perfect thing going. But I didn't. I spent 6 months developing this PDF ebook. And, it was over 150 pages, I think maybe close to 170 pages. I can't remember specifically how long it was. But I spent a lot of money on it. I spent over $1,500 on it between graphic design and layout and editing and writing help and just all sorts of stuff. And I was like, of course, people are going to want this thing. And I put it up as a lead magnet, and I almost could not give this thing away for free. It was so painful. And I remember being just like, what is going on? Like, everything that I heard, everything that I read, every course that I took was like, make something so valuable people would want to pay for it. And I missed some really critical steps in creating this thing that was so valuable. Because, I'll let you in on a little secret. What's valuable to me as the business owner, what's valuable to you as the business owner, might not be what's valuable to your audience. Or I should put it another way. They might not know that's the thing that they need. And this was a really gut punch. I'm not even going to lie. It was really hard when nobody wanted this thing, because I was like, I put so much into this. Why does nobody want this? But it taught me a really good lesson. It taught me a lesson of, don't go create stuff until I know that that's what people want. When I was out there creating this ebook, I wasn't necessarily listening to anybody. I had worked with a lot of coaching clients, and I knew where people got stuck and what they needed help with. And I was just, basically taking stuff that I had learned from working with all my coaching clients and putting it into this ebook and, putting it out there to the world, kind of wanting to show how smart I was, I guess, or how much stuff that I knew, or how many great exercises I had. I'm not actually sure exactly what was motivating that behavior back then. But I think it was me trying to look legit and show like, hey, look, I really do know a lot of stuff, right? And if you're doing that with your lead magnet, first of all, I've been there, like my hand is up in the air with you. I'm like, yep, done that, been there, learned that really hard lesson. But second of all, the thing is that the people that you're trying to attract with your lead magnet, they're not actually evaluating you on how smart they think you are or how great they think you are, or, any of that stuff. What they're looking for is, look, I have a problem. Is this going to help me get a step closer to solving my problem? If yes, I'm going to opt in. If no, or if it sounds like it's too much work, or if it's convoluted or confusing, forget it. I'm moving on. I'm not giving you my information. And that was a really hard and humbling lesson that I had to learn. And I want to pass it on to you too, because the thing is that creating a lead magnet, like I made it about 8 billion times harder than it had to be. I'm not even joking. But when I had this aha realization and I went, oh my gosh, I can whip out a PDF quickly. Like, here's some top tools, or here's some top sites, or, here's a quick checklist, or, here's a cheat sheet, or something like that. Like, I can whip those out in an hour or 2 hours and have, a landing page up and ready and driving traffic to it in less than a day. even, and if I were to hire somebody on Fiverr or hire a graphic designer or something to help me, pretty it up, maybe 2-3 days, right? It didn't have to take me 6 months. But I didn't know that. And if you don't know that either, I want to share this with you because the lead magnet is step 1 to getting people into your marketing funnel. If the lead magnet isn't working, if people aren't opting in, all that work that you did to put together a marketing funnel or all, just anything that you've put together that comes after the lead magnet is just sitting there, right? It's like having, a Porsche sitting in your garage and we're not putting gas in the tank. That's what a lead magnet does, is it helps attract your audience into your business. And that's fuel in your tank. That's, people going through your marketing funnel and deciding, do I want to keep moving forward with you or not? And it's really, really mission critical. That's why I put so much emphasis on creating strong lead magnets, because they are really the secret to having a marketing funnel that works. If you can't get people into your marketing funnel, nothing else matters, right? So you have to make sure that you get this lead magnet right. And, as I found out from my ebook, free just doesn't cut it. Like, that's not enough. It's got to be free and compelling, right? It has to be free and worth their time, worth, time in their inbox, worth their email address. So, don't think that just by putting something together for free that's enough. So let's talk a little bit about what makes a good lead magnet, because I alluded to it a little bit a couple minutes ago, but really the secret is research and listening. Doesn't sound super sexy, but I'm gonna tell ya, when you do this the right way, and this does not have to be hard, you don't have to have a giant email list to do surveys and all that kind of stuff. Like, if you have no list, or if you have a tiny list, or if you have a non-responsive list, you can absolutely do research and listen, because you don't even need to go to your email list unless you have one, and then of course you'd want to leverage that. But there's so many great ways to do research and to listen and to find out what the heck are people actually wanting from you. And one of the things that I really like to do is something that I learned from Neil Patel. So I'll link to this blog post of his on creating an irresistible lead magnet. But it's something that I learned from him that is really, really cool, is go find out what people are paying for already. And he talks about Kindle Marketplace. So he likes to go to the Kindle Marketplace to see, and he uses the example of a cookbook. So if he had a cooking blog, he'd go take a look at the cookbooks on Kindle Marketplace. And he would take a look at the reviews. And he would say, okay, what is it that, is selling? What are people reviewing? Can I, get down to a specific niche, like air fryer or Instapot recipes or, keto recipes or something like that? And then within that, what questions do people have from that workbook? So, or what are the things that they're calling out? And so I'll link to it, because he has a lot of really good examples on here that you can just take a look at. So, for example, one of the reviews that he highlighted said, the table of contents and organization of this book is totally random, no thought at all put into organizing dishes into categories or even providing an index. And it was really interesting because he called that out about how they could organize things easier. So organizing the dishes into categories, and then, putting together different lead magnets based on that. And then he also talks about how it was easy to dive in and refine who your audience is. And so I'll link off to that. But, other ways that you can really do research is, Google things that are related to your topic and see what kind of blog posts come up. What are the titles? Do they have engagement? You can go to BuzzSumo and see what are the top shared resources. So this could be a blog post, this could be, a PDF, like it could be any number of things. It could be a quiz. What are the top shared resources for your topic? And you don't even have to sign up for the BuzzSumo. You can use, your 5 or 10 searches that you get a week free there and do that. You can go to Udemy or any of the online places where you can see, the different courses that people are signing up for. There's some great ideas there. And in fact, I have a free challenge, a free lead magnet challenge that I've put together that I'll talk about in just a little bit, but I take you through an example of how to do this. And I give you a worksheet and really take you through, all right, how do I listen? Another way is to dive into Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or, different places online where people are talking about your topics. So if you wanted to go to, different forums or that kind of thing as well. But you can just see, what are people posting about? What are people questioning? What are the pains that people are talking about? And it's really, when you start to think about lead magnets in terms of, I want it to solve a problem that people are already looking for, and I want it to be this first step in the rest of my marketing funnel, it becomes a lot easier when you're in like a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or something where people are talking about problems and you can go, aha, I could totally do a lead magnet on that. And not that you would, go spam that person who's asking, but it just, if one person's asking about it and then other people are jumping on and saying, yeah, I have that problem too, it lets you know, like, people would want that. People are asking about that. And so it's a great way to just keep your eyes open and say, okay, I need to really pay attention to what my audience is asking about, what they're questioning, what the pain points are, all that kind of stuff, and start to think about, can I put together a simple lead magnet, like a PDF or audio download that's super fast and easy? Can I put together a medium-sized lead magnet that maybe takes them a little bit further in? And can I put together maybe a meatier lead magnet, a bigger lead magnet that, could really reel them into to my audience, to becoming a fan, to all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to let you know, your lead magnet honestly is just the start of your relationship with this new person. So don't get trapped into thinking that just getting people on your email list is enough. I guess that's what I really want to emphasize as well, is that, I don't just have one lead magnet. I have lots and lots of lead magnets. And so when I see people not engaging, like one marketing funnel leads to the next marketing funnel, I have different things I can offer up, because sometimes people, need a few different touch points, or they're just not quite sure how to move forward with you. And so having a few different lead magnets and then having a few different marketing funnels can really help your efforts as well. So one thing to think about is that once someone opts in to your lead magnet, what is the very next step that you need them to take? How do you get them from this sounds really interesting, or this was a really interesting resource, or whatever, to I want to buy from you now? And that's really where the power of marketing funnels comes in. So if you're one of those people, like I was for a long time, who simply, is out there putting lead magnets out, putting great lead magnets out actually, and getting people to opt in, but then there's just like not a clear path from that lead magnet to working with you, I really want to urge you to reconsider putting together a really clear marketing funnel. And even if you don't have like a big offer right now, you can always sell something small, something like $7 to maybe $47. Like that's one of the best funnels, because they're so easy to put together. And then, I call it a cash infusion list building funnel, but then you're able to you're able to create buyers instead of just freebie hunters, right? You're able to take them a little bit further into what you do and getting more benefits from you and all that kind of stuff if you do something like that. Or if you want to get them on the phone with you, how are you crafting your funnel so that it goes from that lead magnet to a really clear call with you about that same topic? Or if you're trying to get them into a webinar, how do you go from that lead magnet to, oh my gosh, I have to sign up for this webinar because I need to go deeper? If you want them to watch a video series, same thing. How do you get them from that lead magnet to the video series to probably ultimately the sales page that you have for whatever you offer? It just, you have to be really clear on how you go from lead magnet to buyer. And what are all the little things that people need along the way? What are the touch points? What are the ahas? What are the new beliefs? What are the things that you need to take somebody from a stranger to, oh my gosh, I need to buy from you now? So that's, because that is really the key, is not just getting people on your email list. I've made that mistake in the past. I've made lots of mistakes in the past, but, and continue to make mistakes, and I'll share those learnings with you as I go. But, if you just make the mistake of getting somebody on your email list and then not having a clear path to go from new to your community to buyer, you are doing yourself and your business and your audience a huge disservice, because they're actively looking for a way to solve this problem that they have, and you probably have a great way to solve that problem. And if you don't give them a clear path from the freebie offer to how to work with you, it's like there's this huge, gulf between the two of you, right? They're on one side and you're on the other, and you're like, come on over. And they're like, I don't know how. I don't understand what you're going to help me with. I don't understand, what we would do. So you have to build a bridge of beliefs of like, oh, I get this. Oh, I see how this could help me. And for some of us, that bridge is pretty small. And for some of us, that bridge is pretty wide. It depends on how well known we are. It depends on how much your offer is. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And that's why marketing funnels are so critical. All right. So here's the thing. If you want to up-level your lead magnet, or if you want help like really diving into creating a great lead magnet for your business, I have put together a free 4-day challenge. And this challenge, once you opt in, you will have access to all 4 days because it's an evergreen challenge. But if you want to create a lead magnet that your customers cannot ignore, I've broken it down for you, and it's really easy to implement. Free challenge. You just give me 15 minutes a day, and I'll take you through how to quickly do that research that you don't even need an audience for. I'll take you through how to see what people really want from you. I'll take you through how to name your lead magnet so that people really want to opt in. And then I even have 4 professionally designed templates that I give to you that you can take and tweak and alter to match your business, but they're all designed and set up waiting for you for, an ebook that you can also use for a workbook, for a checklist, for a cheat sheet, and for one other thing that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But it's really, really good to dive into this 4-day challenge, because it will help you see how to create a client-attracting, profit-producing lead magnet to really get people into your marketing funnel. So you're going to get my hacks, my shortcuts, and again, those professionally designed templates and quick video tutorials to make the whole thing super simple. And again, I've made this for really busy business owners. So it's 15 minutes a day, and it'll take you through day by day how to get this done. And all you have to do is go to michellelevans.com/4 days. And I will also link to it in today's show notes, which you can get at themarketingfunnelshow.com/34. That's just the number 34. So there you have it. It's all about getting you a profit-producing, client-attracting lead magnet so that the hard work that you've done after people opt in finally has fuel, finally has people going through your funnel, right? All right. And finally, very, very last thing here. If you have a question that you want me to cover on an upcoming episode of the Marketing Funnel Show, I'd love to hear from you. So you can go to my Facebook page, which I'll link to in today's show notes. You can go to, you can email me, michelle@michellelevans.com. I'll put that link on today's show notes as well. Or you can, tweet at me. So I would love to hear from you of what questions you have about marketing funnels and how you can use them better in your business. I will see you on next week's episode. Bye.